Jeez, you had to take me to such a dump.
Burger King was booked up.
As the home of the Whopper, it's obvious that BK knows how to come up with bestsellers. However, there are some exceptions. So here are the top 10 worst Burger King menu items, Part 2.
Let's roll.
Ultimate Breakfast Platter.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Taken from the Golden Arches menu, we have the BK Ultimate Breakfast Platter. Just like the one from McD's, this huge breakfast comes with scrambled eggs, hash browns, a sausage patty, a biscuit, and some pancakes. So far, so good. It doesn't sound so bad, and how could it? These are all delicious items. Well, it turns out it's not that hard to make something good into something rather questionable. Pancakes, described as dry like they came straight out of the microwave, very greasy hash browns, and soggy eggs were all part of the harsh critiques the breakfast platter received online. Nowhere near measuring up to McDonald's version at all.
Tell me about it.
And that's not even the worst part about this failed menu item. It's also one of the unhealthiest things available at Burger King. Topping a whopping 2,500 milligrams of sodium, you'll have reached all your recommended daily intake of sodium, sugar, and fat by the time you've finished your plate. Basically, it's the perfect meal if you're planning on not eating for the rest of the day.
Think about it.
Double Croissan'wich with sausage.
A croissant-wich with 100% butter.
Oh, the way she said it was a lot prettier.
To start your day on the right foot, Burger King's signature Croissan'wich has been a fan favorite since the early 1980s. A sausage patty with egg and cheese all smushed between a croissant. What's not to love? But we're not saying anything bad about this one. We're mostly talking about the double version of this delicacy. The double Croissan'wich has double the ingredients, which means the added calories that goes along with it. Available with ham, sausage, or bacon, this breakfast monster sure isn't for the faint of heart. Ingesting a whopping 710 calories first thing in the morning might not be the smartest choice, especially when you're aware of what you're eating.
Look at this food. It's gross and unhealthy.
And not only is the double Croissan'wich ridiculously greasy and unhealthy, but the quality of the whole thing has also dropped drastically. Some people have said that their recent orders of the Croissan'wich did not live up to their memories' expectations. They remembered it being super gooey and delicious, but now it seemed like an underwhelming disappointment. While it might have been amazing in the past, the double Croissan'wich is not the breakfast sandwich it used to be.
How sad is that?
Grilled chicken sandwich.
I'm starving.
Obviously, a place called Burger King would specialize in burgers, and that's what they do best. Without taking away from their efforts to think outside of the burger box, it hasn't always been for the better. The grilled chicken sandwich is a perfect example of a failed attempt at innovation. Many people who have tried this seemingly weird sandwich had something bad to say about it. Either the chicken was too dry or tasted too artificial, or you just couldn't taste it at all. The sometimes burned chicken fillet could be so limited that you could barely taste it at all.
Can't taste my freaking tongue, Kay.
One reviewer even said that it had more bread and lettuce than chicken. Apart from the inconsistent chicken factor, the other ingredients in the sandwich did not seem to be very appreciated either. Something was always off. Another downside, it was cooked to order. Usually, that would be a good thing. It means that it's fresh and warm. But in this case, it meant a lot of waiting around for your order, which wasn't even worth it to begin with. If you don't mind waiting a long time and possibly being disappointed, the grilled chicken sandwich is a perfect choice. Otherwise, stick with a good old reliable burger.
Matter of fact, it's the best burger I've had in years.
Gracias, señor.
Prego.
Big Fish.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
As you probably all know by now, Burger King and McDonald's are in a fierce battle to see who can claim the title of Best Fast Food Restaurant. The two chains have been copying each other back and forth for years, attempting to come up with better versions of the other's creations. The Big Fish from Burger King is basically a copycat of the Filet-O-Fish, and not a very good one at that. Not only is there no cheese, but it also might not be made from the freshest catch of the day. Since fish options are not always the most popular choice in fast food restaurants, Burger King has had to think in a practical way to avoid any big losses. Meaning, your breaded Alaskan pollock in your big fish sandwich could have been sitting in the warming tray for a very, very long time. A former BK employee even came forward on Reddit and confirmed that they had the same 2 or 3 fish fillets in the warmer for entire days sometimes.
What?
Other employees have even said that they keep some surplus so they don't have to make it new each time someone orders it, so you may be getting old fish. While you may be tempted to try one of these because of its lower calorie count, just remember that you might also get the lower quality count as well.
No comment.
Rodeo King.
Now, we ride.
Yeehaw! Another Burger King invention that does not win a lot of points for creativity. What's the Rodeo King, you ask? Well, remember the Bacon King, the copycat Baconator with 2 beef patties, the American cheese, and the 6 strips of bacon? Well, the Rodeo King is exactly that, only with some onion rings thrown in the mix. Oh, and some barbecue sauce. That's it. The same copied burger, just with a little extra pep. Well, the only thing that's really different is the bonus calories. Who knew onion rings and a little sauce could help clock up 1,250 calories so easily? Besides looking like a stomach ache waiting to happen, the Rodeo King also packs a lot of salt. Like, a lot.
That doesn't sound good.
And it shouldn't be surprising either. Whenever there's bacon, it adds a little extra saltiness, but mix that with deep-fried onions and you have got yourself a salt party. Sure, the Rodeo King is bursting with flavor, but is it really worth all of the extra sodium? Maybe if it had a little more bread to compensate for all of that salt? In any case, the Rodeo King is far from being the king of the West, let alone the king of the rodeo.
I'm the boss.
Bacon King.
What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Sure, bacon is great. You can put it on everything all the time and most likely never get tired of how good it is. However, there comes a time when you need to stop and leave your food alone before it becomes a health hazard. Apparently, no one told Burger King that, and they just kept going and going until they created the Bacon King. The Bacon King is basically an exact replica, if not an inferior version, of Wendy's popular Baconator. Once again, Burger King is the king of ripping off or borrowing other fast food inventions. But the best part? They ripped off their very own sandwich as well.
Okay.
The only thing different between the Bacon King and their Double Stacker King is that they left off the Stacker Special sauce and replaced it with mayo and ketchup instead. By doing so, not only did they create the exact same burger, only with a different sauce, but they also created a giant greasy monster. BK, you've done it again. The Bacon King might not be the most original menu item out there, and it's certainly not the healthiest, so maybe go for another option when stepping up to order.
That's not our policy. You have to order something from the lunch menu.
Chicken nuggets.
A little chicken nugget.
If there's one thing on the Burger King menu that best summarizes the expression, you get what you pay for, it's the chicken nuggets. Almost every fast food joint serves some kind of chicken nuggets, and everyone's got their favorites. Chicken nuggets from anywhere are usually cheap, but never as cheap as the ones from Burger King. In 2018, a promotion offered 10 nuggets for just $1. No one else ever dared to go as low on price, and it made people excited to get their hands on some. But there's a very logical reason why these nuggets cost so little: the quality. Described by many as flat, like half the thickness of a McDonald's McNugget, tasteless and spongy, it's easy to understand why Burger King would sell them at such low cost.
I see what you did there.
Plus, while it is called a chicken nugget, some have said that the meat inside was unidentifiable, which is not very comforting. These types types of criticisms can kind of influence people into not even bothering to try them out at all. With so many tasty and iconic chicken nuggets already on the market, the competition is cutthroat, and every fast food outlet is ready to do anything to get their hands on a winning recipe. Until Burger King finds it, you might be better off ordering someone else's nuggets. Just saying.
Trust me when I say this.
Triple Stacker King.
Awesome!
Sometimes more is definitely better, but in Burger King's case, they should really stick to the less is more approach. They seem to like going overboard with their burgers by making the unhealthiest burger ever part of their mission statement. The Triple Stacker King is a bigger, heavier, and more dangerous version of the very modest Single Stacker King. Named as the height of irresponsibility by critics, the Triple Stacker King isn't shy about its calorie count. 3 patties, multiple slices of cheese, and more bacon than any person should consume in a single sitting are what's waiting for you if you order one of these beasts.
Good luck with that.
At over 1,300 calories, you would assume that each bite would be like beefy heaven, full of wonderful tastes and textures, right? Sadly, there's not much going on in the innovative flavor department. It's basically just meat and cheese all stacked up together. Nothing more, nothing less. If all you want is a bunch of meat and cheese and you don't care about how massive and caloric it is, then by all means, go ahead and get yourself one. But if you are looking for a more researched and advanced taste, you don't need to bother.
Wow, yeah. Is it that bad?
Whopper Jr.
Just like this, but smaller.
It's hard to compete against the Whopper. Its grand status and delicious taste have yet to be matched by any other Burger King menu item. Not for lack of trying, though. Burger King has tried time and again to create the next best thing by tweaking the Whopper, looking to make an even better version. When they came up with the Whopper Jr., they really thought they had cracked the code to its awesomeness. Making the original delicious burger into a smaller version of itself could only be beneficial and successful. However, this thought was short-lived as BK discovered that no one actually wanted it. This burger is basically a baby version of the real Whopper, and why would you want a tiny burger anyway? Especially if its full-size namesake is available.
Gee, Mr. Spicoli, I don't know.
But that's not even why the Whopper Jr. is one of the worst items to order. It's because of its freshness, or lack thereof. Since it's one of the most unpopular sandwiches of the bunch, no one ever really orders it, meaning they don't make new ones to replace the old ones that didn't sell. Basically, they can sit around for long periods of time before they're wrapped up and given to you. An employee even claimed online that Whopper Jr.'s take too long to make fresh, and that managers just tell them to use the old ones instead. Unless you like old and cold burgers, just order the regular Whopper. Your odds of getting a fresh one are way better. Sprout Surprise Whopper. Surprise! Show of hands. Who as a kid was ever forced to finish off all their Brussels sprouts if they wanted to get dessert? Since most of your hands are up, it shouldn't come as a surprise that something called Sprout Surprise Whopper would be considered one of the worst Burger King menu items. Brussels sprouts are one of the most universally hated vegetables, and yet BK still decided to give this one a try. If the goal was to change people's minds, it didn't work. The US market, however, didn't dare to go near it. This was all Burger King UK's idea.
Yeah, boy.
As a limited-time holiday offering, BK UK wanted to use Brussels sprouts, apparently part of a traditional British Christmas dinner, and turn them into something that kids would eat. Using the classic festive ingredient that so often gets overlooked, the Sprout Surprise Whopper was a Brussels sprout patty, a beef patty, and some cheese, and was only served in 3 cities. And for good reason. Let's just say people weren't too keen on the idea of finding some green vegetable other than lettuce in their Whopper. Burger King was determined to make a go of it and hoped it would catch on, but sadly, or not many people dared to order it. Maybe it was for the best. Not sure this one would have succeeded anywhere, really.
Ron, would you like some salad? Since I am not a rabbit, no, I do not.
Tap or click for another great video, and all our subscribers, thanks, and be sure to ring that notification bell.